the first thing that we ever built? Oh, we need to go look at those. It's the first product. It's the first products that we ever made for market. That's Semi-Gorgon. That's the mouth hole for Semi-Gorgon. This is the head of rotten candy. So how would you like to take a tour of the factory? I can show you the whole process.
Let's do it. If you've ever seen us getting chased by these huge puppet prop actor-matronic things, then you are gonna want to stick around because we are at the Gore Galore factory just north of Evansville, Indiana. We're gonna take you on a behind the scenes tour and show you how this stuff's made. So without further ado, let's get in here and look at some scary stuff.
Hey, this is Kevin Alvey with Gore Galore. Gore Galore is a prop company. We do props for theme parks and haunted attractions, and I'm happy to say all over the world. We've been in business 27 years, I think, 26, 27 years, but I've been in haunting 43. So I've been doing this a long time. We do a lot of really interactive props, so everything's pretty well actor focused. We do animations also, but it's not really where my gut is. I love stuff that's really interactive. I mean, really just puppets. So Jim Henson, you think Gore Galore, because that's where it came from. Dark Crystal and Labyrinth and all of that. That's what I watched when I was young. So I'm an old man with a deep history in creating art, and I've had the opportunity to do it for a living. So I've been doing this my whole life.
Who's this clown-looking guy here you got next to you?
Well, this is the head of rotten candy.
Rotten candy.
Rotten candy is also, we use the same sculpt for Zompire, Silver Wolf. So we do several using the same casting.
It's a different paint job?
And different paint job, add a clown nose. What I always liked about it is I was trying to design something that kind of moved differently than what, instead of just a hinged jaw, and I figured out how to do a slide system so that the jaw would come in and out of the head.
There you go.
I always thought that was fun. And then he's a grabber. You ask the question, what is a grabber? It's what it can do. It can grab you.
Oh.
Yeah,
so that's kind of the thing. I should grab the hands. Get an idea of what I mean. So they're pretty big hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
So yeah,
they do grab too because I run from them. So they're huge.
But we put them on a track system, and so they can reach out, slide down the track. They look like they float.
Freaking love those things.
So how would you like to take a tour of the factory? I can show you the whole process.
Let's do it.
Yeah, why not?
A funny story about this place. This front version is actually, or this front section used to be a chicken coop. In the 60s, this is where all the guys in town would come hang out, drink beer, and play cards. And I just really wonder what they would think now, knowing that this is kind of a monster factory. And the other interesting tidbit of information is this place is supposed to be haunted.
Oh, it's haunted.
God, there's so many things in here that we don't get to see this way.
I think that one of the things that kind of sets our company apart from everybody else, and that's not a diss on anybody, it's just the fact that we do things a little bit differently. All of our molds are fiberglass. And they're black on the outside, gray on the inside, and all of that's on purpose because we use a white self-skinning foam. We have a dark mold so that we can see the thickness of the foam material inside of it. So that tells us, okay, we need to add a little bit more here, a little bit more there. That's kind of really one of the catches that makes us different is that everything that we make is made in foam. Self-skinning foam, it's not latex. The durability is there. The UV protection is there. It's partly why our stuff's as expensive as it is. If anybody complains that it's expensive, that's why. Plus, we have great customer service. Plus, we have great quality. Plus, the list is kind of like this. But this business is about me. I'm a narcissist. This is about me. I want to take care of my customers. I want to take pride in my work. I want to be able to sell stuff and know that that customer can sell it to somebody else 10 years later. I just want to make stuff that lasts. And that's really what it's about. And this is what's crazy is this is all the Wendigo parts, but they're a pain in the ass to make. There are a lot of parts.
A lot of parts, yeah.
There's a lot of parts, and there's armatures that lay in this mold. We lay up the mold, we put the armature in, we close up the mold, we foam in the armature, we pop the mold. We take the part out, we wash the part, we trim the part, we patch the part, we paint the part, we put the damn things together. I mean, it's a process. It's a real process.
He has a love-hate relationship with these things.
Well, they are so cool. I mean,
They are cool.
They're really fun.
We'll show you right
and
here.
we're going to do more. So
Yeah.
more characters built like that. And it's just, I'm just trying to push myself. You know, I want to get better. I want to get better at this. There's a scary snowman there, just for size reference. There's your Santa, or well, your snowman. Sorry, not Santa. But you know, we've got a dragon here, and an ancient evil here, and a snake here, and gorehound there, and here's part of.
What in the world?
That's our big fish.
Oh,
Or anglerfish.
the anglerfish.
That we call the manglerfish. So that's just one side of his head. That doesn't even
Holy
include the
cow.
palate or the jaw. It's just so fun to make molds, and I know that every mold I make, I can just make these unlimited number of monsters because all I have to do is wash the molds again and again and again, and then run them. And
drop these, they can live through that, right? For the most part.
they can not only live through that, we can repair them. So unlike a plaster mold, you drop it, it's gone.
Yep.
So you wonder why prices are higher.
You've mentioned prices a couple times, so like what's kind of the range of stuff that you offer on some of these?
4,000, 4 to 6.
Okay.
It kind of, giant costumes can be a little bit less, but then you add a screen cube or audio system, and then it drives it up. So we're still 4, 5, 6,000. You know, we've got a lot of small product too, but even the small product's not cheap. And again, it's because the materials are all there and they will last a lifetime, as long as somebody's not running them through a shredder.
Right. I just want to touch everything. Like,
You're welcome to. You can't hurt it. You can touch it. Those
that's
are
like an ADHD friendly little thing here, you know.
those are the small croc teeth, which is not really a small croc. It's a full
Right.
life-size croc, but
Wow.
those are the teeth for it. But I also use those for Wendigo. So, which is why they're done separately, is so that we just plug them in.
So you cut these out and then
Cut them out, paint them while they're on the palette, and then cut them out and then glue them in. That's Semigorgon. That's the mouth hole for Semigorgon.
Can't exactly
let me
Yeah.
tell you the joke. Demigorgon has 4 or 5 leaflets, jaws. Semigorgon has 3, so it's kind of a demigorgon.
Yeah, not quite a demigorgon.
I'm an idiot.
Tyler, you're gonna like Kevin a lot because
I'm an
Tyler
idiot.
loves the dad jokes.
Yeah.
Well, here's a.
What do you get? Oh man, he's had a bad day.
That's a butchered.
I love the detail on it.
This mold is Wraith, if you know what the Wraith is. The one that has the side
Grim
arms.
Trails has
Yeah.
Wraith.
Do you know where the original concept came from? So Time Bandits is where the Wraith came
Time Bandits. I'm gonna have to watch that now.
from. At least half of the product is from a client asking us to do something. A lot of other times I won't, I intentionally don't tell anybody what I'm doing and then start it. And then I'll call people and say, hey, guess what I'm working on?
Yeah. How long does it take to do one of these sculpts? Like that part of that mouth?
Full process, start, finish, including molding, usually a month.
Oh, wow.
About a month for one of the big pieces. Smaller stuff, I do it in a day or two. But it still takes a week because it's still days in molding.
Yeah.
This is going to be a sewing room for next year for my wife because she does all the sewing. So she'll have our own area, and then she
Heck
also
yeah.
does her Carlos Creations, which she makes the purses and all of that.
Oh yeah.
And Beetlejuice is her favorite movie.
Oh.
So we're going to paint the room Beetlejuice.
There you go.
And there's other things that she doesn't realize I'm going to do.
What would you say your oldest mold is in here?
That would either be the Wraith, Zombie Lurker, and maybe one of the severed heads. The first thing that we ever built, we need to go look at those. They were severed heads in little welded frames, and they would have actions. They were motorized.
I don't think
so
we
that it
saw
would,
those.
This
Oh,
is the
wow.
first product we ever had. So they're up here.
Cool.
They're in bags, so it might be kind of hard to tell. This is the shish kebab box. I maintained a copy of each one of these. And then there's another one right next to it that's a different version, but it's still a rotisserie, it's just open. And then I did it with, I covered it in foam, so it's textured and painted silver. So it just had a different look to it. It's the first product. These are the first products that we ever made for market. So we did 6 different ones. This is a Dizzy box. She's just kind of gross and her head spins. This is the Hammerhead box. I ended ended up converting it and making it pneumatic. So it literally has a hammer. It just smacks him in the head. The head just kind of shimmies when it gets hit. This is a Pierce box, and the head just kind of does this and snaps when the chain pulls and it yanks it. But it's got like fingers on fish hooks and chains.
Oh yeah, like almost like a saw type of trap or something.
Yeah, very much Hellraiser. That hammerhead box is motorized. This hammerhead box is pneumatic. So this one has a polyacrylic circuit that is clear acrylic that has the air circuit built into it.
Oh wow.
It was really neat when I discovered that back in the day.
I've never seen one of these.
And then this is the barf box.
Barf box. So yeah,
He would
got the
puke?
bucket in
So
there.
it's just he's puking.
Yeah.
Remember those guys?
I don't remember them.
The neck biters, but this was one of the early puppet.
Yeah,
You'd
that you would hold.
You'd wear it, and so it would hang on you on one arm, and then its leg would like rest on your hip.
Look like it's latched onto you.
And I mean, it really, all you had to do is do this, and it would, and you'd have your other hand in it, you know,
Doing the head and
you
stuff.
could kind of have your head, and then kind of wiggle, and the arm would.
No, yeah.
It was pretty fun. This is the gargoyle version. So Fabrication is back here. This is the Gore Galore Fab Shop. So you can see we've got a horizontal bandsaw right here, and then all of our raw metal, we have it trucked in, they drop it off right there. And then when we draw it through, then we've got our tape here, and then we also double check, double remeasure, you know. Measure twice, cut once.
I always measure once and cut twice.
Yeah, and then we literally have a cut Bible.
Oh wow, look.
Oh wow.
So the Gore Galore Cut List Bible. Every product that we make is in that book. And you open that up and then alphabetically look for whatever character that you're supposed to be prepping. We try to be that organized. So there's a Cut List Bible over there, and then over there is a stack of books for the Weld Fabricator Bibles.
What's this big contraption you got sitting here in the middle?
That's a sled. That's a 6-foot sled.
A sled.
Anyone that has an actor-matronic and they're having issues with actors working and operators working it, they can buy a sled from us. We just send it to them with controls and everything built into it. And literally all they have to do is mount the head on it, connect 2 air lines and the LEDs, and it's operational.
Nice.
So then it's fully
Then it's
animatronic
fully
instead of
animatronic. I mean, it'll handle any of them. That's why I mean, that's a pretty big cylinder.
It is, yeah. It's a lot of horse pressure.
Horse pressure. Let's head to paint department. Again, we talk about the production method, the casting, the fabrication, put those together, take them outside, wash them, which is what this little patio thing out here is, trim, patch, and then finally, the paint department. So there's not a lot in here, but are getting ready to paint a bunch of Wendigos. They've been washed, now they need to be trimmed, patched, and then gotten ready for paint. We did a vine, kind of a gross, bloody vine, and we did a set of those for an attraction, and then this egg pod will get painted to go with them. And then after things are painted, then we drag them into that assembly room where things are then put together, combined with their controllers, their LEDs if they've got them, mounted on their control arms, set up for the track system, mounted on the track system. Then we have to weight them, put the weights on, balance them so that they sit correctly. And then after they're tested, then we pack them down and out the door they go.
And there they go.
You want to see a KillSaw?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We got one in my shop, so let's go
Yes.
check it out. The Banshee head and hands for a giant costume.
Oh. Oh my.
Now, this is operational. It's just not fully decorated yet.
I'm getting out the way. I don't know what.
It doesn't make any
Oh,
noise
yeah.
yet,
Okay.
but it is
This
operational.
is so freaking cool.
And these are foam, but a heavy, really good quality foam so they don't get torn up too easy. Mm-hmm. I thought this would illustrate really well how well we build things.
It's really quiet too.
So yeah, it's quiet and it's really strong. I mean, the motor in it is $400 for us to buy it. I mean, they're just really high quality, low geared motors. They don't move super fast.
Yeah.
But they need to be able to handle somebody getting a hold of it or you hitting something with it and the motor not be injured. And it's pulley driven. It's not direct drive. It is pulley driven. So, it's gonna last a long, long time. We put bearings in everything. Everything's bearing loaded.
Big bearing.
Yeah, it's like completely silent almost. It's wild.
And there's the detail that goes on it. I've got to do some mods on it, but it goes on like that.
Mm-hmm. When that thing's coming at your head, you sure don't know that it's flexible foam.
Yeah, you're not thinking, that it's spongy.
Right?
I had to wait for my wife to not be home, and my recording studio is in the house. It's in my office. So I took my chainsaw in the house, fired it up, and that's how I recorded it. I recorded it in my office. I had fans on and stuff, but yeah, I did it in the house.
But we won't tell her.
No,
we won't tell her.
Okay. But now I have a bigger chainsaw.
Uh-oh, yeah.
So now it's time to record a new bassier file.
I like that you can even see the little screw heads on the chain.
Details, details.
This is one of the products where nobody asked me to do it. I just was like, I'm gonna make a 6-foot chainsaw. Because nobody's ever done it before. So I'm gonna make one. So I did. But what's neat is all the parts on it are from found objects. This is a fire extinguisher. This is a piece of PVC. These were real bolts. These are PVC parts. These are molded from spark plugs. This is a coil from a motorcycle.
Now, I've recognized the coil, yeah.
I figured you would. This is a motor from a sewing machine.
Oh, wow.
This is a pulley off the same sewing machine. This is another hand pulley. You know the Singer, the one that you turn to lock and unlock it so that you can wind up your bobbin?
Yep.
This is a float from a toilet bowl. Cut it in half and then put it together and molded those pieces. So it's just so the found objects and how you build things, and then molded it all. And then we just kind of glue them on separately.
That's so freaking cool.
That's the kind of stuff that's fun. You know, these parts are cast separately so that we can pull them from silicone rather than trying to get them out of a fiberglass mold.
Right.
It's a little much sometimes.
If you're still watching, comment below. What did Kevin say that is?
This is a little bit off topic, but there's always history in why we do things, right? When I was, 15 years old, I started working at a haunted house, the Newburgh Civitan Haunted House, which is now called Zombie Farm. We built insane props. 15-foot tall puppets. All kinds of crazy stuff. But this up here is Stick Boy.
Stick Boy.
Stick Boy. Stick Boy is a 7-foot tall skeletal marionette with a crocodile skull. It was put in a cage. You would work it from a platform from above. So I had a system mounted on like an eye bolt so that I could get the head to look back and forth. And then I could just snap it and it would just snap and then snap his head. And then I could make it jump and land on the bars.
Oh, wow.
And literally, could get it to reach through the bars, and it would scratch at people and bite at them, and it was all with a black light, or a strobe light and black lights. But that was over 40 years ago. 40. That's where it all starts. You got to start somewhere. But my first thing I ever built was still a puppet. Still going.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this tour of Gore Galore, I've got 2 more videos right here. One of them is Distortions Unlimited out in Colorado, and the other is Pumpkin Pulp Productions here in Indiana. Distortions also does a whole lot of animatronics and props. Pumpkin Pulp kind of does more masks and accessories. Make sure you check them both out. I'll see you in those videos. Until then, stay scary.